In 1807, Britain outlawed the slave trade. Liverpool had grown rich on it, at its height controlling nearly 80% of Britain's human cargo, shipping an estimated 1.3 to 1.5 million Africans across the Atlantic. But the docks didn't sleep. Cotton replaced chains. By the 1860s, much of Britain's raw cotton, imported from America, passed through Liverpool's warehouses. The Irish arrived by the hundreds of thousands, fleeing famine, crammed into cellar dwellings where life expectancy collapsed. By the end of the 19th century, millions of emigrants had passed through Liverpool, bound for the New World. In the early 1800s, Liverpool's grain merchants formed a company to build this, the Corn Exchange on Brunswick Street. Designed by John Foster in Runcorn sandstone, it opened in 1808 at a cost of £10,000. For decades, fortunes changed hands beneath its Doric columns. The floor collapsed in 1852. German bombs destroyed it in 1941. Liverpool rebuilt it twice. Lord Street, 1828, one of Liverpool's leading commercial streets. At its Derby Square end stood St George's Church, built on the site of the old Liverpool Castle. In 1863, after Liverpool appointed its first Jewish mayor, Charles Mosley, an anti-Semitic sermon was preached there, and the corporation abandoned the church. It closed in 1897 and was demolished by 1899. The Queen Victoria Monument stands on the site today. Here, at the mouth of the Wapping Tunnel, the modern world emerged from brick and iron. Wagons descended by gravity from Edge Hill, hauled back up by steam-powered cables, carrying cotton, coal and manufactured goods straight into the docks. The Liverpool and Manchester Railway, opened in 1830, was the world's first intercity line. Industrial Britain found its rhythm. Crown Street, 1833, the world's first intercity passenger railway station, opened September 1830 to handle the Liverpool and Manchester Railway. Trains departed from this timber-roofed platform, hauled by cable up through the tunnel to Edge Hill, then onward to Manchester by steam locomotive. Strand Street, 1840, the riverfront artery linking Liverpool to the world. Behind it stood the Custom House, John Foster's neoclassical monument, completed in 1839 on the site of the old dock. Through its columns passed the paperwork of a global trading empire. Ships crowded the docks. Cotton bales, grain, and passengers filled the quays. This was the waterfront that made Liverpool Britain's second city of empire, before German bombs shattered the Custom House during the Blitz of 1941. Dale Street, 1850, one of the city's oldest medieval streets, now the beating heart of Victorian commerce. It housed Liverpool's banks, insurance firms, and trading offices in classical buildings inspired by Renaissance palaces. Coaches rattled through day and night, bound for London, Manchester and Birmingham. Here, fortunes were made on cotton and shipping. This was where Liverpool's merchant princes turned global trade into architectural grandeur. August 1850. The Swedish soprano Jenny Lind, the Swedish Nightingale, departs for America aboard the paddle steamer Atlantic. Thousands crowd Liverpool's waterfront, the Mersey alive with boats. Cannons boom. P.T. Barnum had turned her into America's first celebrity before she'd even sailed. When she arrived in New York on September 1st, 40,000 waited at the pier. This was Lynn Mania, and it began here. Hanover Street, around 1855. At the junction with Duke Street stood the Sailors' Home, its towers rising behind older, overcrowded buildings soon swept away. The foundation stone was laid by Prince Albert in 1846, the result of a campaign led by James Aiken and Liverpool's mercantile elite. Built to shelter seamen from exploitation and vice, it reflected a city trying to civilise the human cost of global trade. George's Landing, 1855. Opened in 1847, this floating pier was the gateway between the city and the Mersey, carrying ferries, passengers, and goods day and night. Behind it rose forested masts and warehouse roofs, symbols of a port at full stretch. This was Liverpool's front door, restless, crowded, and vital to a global trading empire. Manestes Lane was a narrow lane off Hanover Street in 19th century Liverpool, named after a merchant family with ties to the city's maritime commerce. In the mid-1800s, it lay amid a dense fabric of shops, homes and warehouses connecting central streets to dock-linked business districts. Later urban redevelopment largely erased its old route. Lime Street, 1858. At the city's western gateway stood St George's Hall, its classical columns rising above a growing commercial centre. Clerks, merchants and travellers crossed this open civic space, moving between the railway terminus and the streets beyond. This was Victorian Liverpool presenting itself as modern, confident and ordered, a city built not just on trade but on spectacle and ambition. Lord Street in the 1860s, Liverpool's polite spine. Shop fronts glow beneath tall brick terraces, chimneys crowd the skyline, and pedestrians drift past windows of hats, furniture and finery. Painted by William Herdman, this is a city confident, commercial and impeccably dressed for progress. Albert Dock, 1865. Brick vaults line the water with mathematical precision, fireproof and formidable. Ships unload cotton, tobacco and tea straight into the warehouses, while clerks and dockhands move with purpose. This is Liverpool engineered for empire, efficient, modern, unstoppable. St George's Hall in Liverpool is one of Britain's great neoclassical masterpieces. Built between 1841 and 1854, it was designed by the young architect Harvey Lonsdale Elmes and completed under Charles Cockerell after Elmes's death. With its Corinthian portico and vast concert and courtrooms, it embodied Victorian civic pride and was described by contemporaries as among the finest public buildings in Europe. 19th century Liverpool was a city built at speed. Between 1800 and 1880, its docks expanded faster than anywhere on earth, handling cotton, tobacco, grain, and millions of migrants bound for the Atlantic world. Sail gave way to steam, warehouses replaced fields, and Liverpool became Britain's great gateway, restless, crowded, and permanently in motion.